Somewhere, there is a young man who is facing a demon. The demon will destroy the young man. A young man named Leon Klein seemed to have difficulty facing the demon. It looks like a large fireball attack is coming towards him. But he did not remain silent, and began to gather energy. Before the demon attacked, Leon quickly attacked first. He kept trying to destroy the big fireball with his energy. At the same time he unleashes an ice attack to reduce the enemy's concentration. Finally the sharp ice managed to hit the enemy. The sharp ice spell attack had such a powerful force that it made the demon disappear. It looks like the demon was defeated along with the fire energy. Leon was finally able to defeat the powerful demon with his magic. Then after returning to the city, he was praised by the people, because Leon managed to defeat the demon King Balfar. When he returned to the city, Leon went to the orphanage. He was immediately greeted by someone. This little girl is part of the orphanage, and greets him for returning. He just came here to visit for a while, and will be going back on duty. Leon went to the palace and met the king. The king and the prince were waiting for Leon's arrival at the palace. He also greeted the king and Prince Shark. At the same time, Princess Sarah also welcomed Leon. The king sent her here because he knew Leon would come. He immediately asked the king why he had been called to the palace. The king explained the details, because there were still caves where monsters still came. He was shocked by the king's statement, because he just defeated the demon king. He wanted Leon to investigate the cave. Because the cave was dangerous, Leon was sent to go check it out. He convinced himself to go to the dangerous cave, because it was for peace. Especially peace for the orphanage children in the city that he must protect. Finally he decided to go to the cave on the king's orders. King also wanted that when this investigation was finished, they would talk about Princess Sarah's marriage. For him it was still not on his mind. This investigation was accompanied by Prince Shark, because he was the one who knew the location of the cave. The next day arrived, Leon was getting ready. Prince Shark has arrived to accompany Leon on journey. They both had prepared what they needed and were about to leave. Finally they arrived at the cave and immediately went in. Leon was ready and would enter the cave carefully. Inside the cave there are large roots, and the aura in that place is very dark. That root is the reason why people go missing while checking this cave. But surprise, an attack suddenly came from behind. Leon was suddenly hit by the poison and couldn't move. It turns out that this was done by Prince Shark with his sword. This happened because he could get closer to Princess Sarah, then he would make Leon disappear because of an incident. But Leon doesn't want that, and also politics. All he wants is to protect the children in the orphanage. Hearing this, Shark could only laugh out loud. Leon was shocked to hear this, because the one he was protecting was no longer there. All of this had been planned since yesterday, and he was enjoying it. Leon's anger finally could not be stopped, he would not allow this. But because he had been poisoned, his body was weak, and he was dropped by Shark into the hole. He didn't want this to happen, and stare at Prince Shark angrily. Finally he fell down, to the deepest part of the cave. Until finally the dripping water made him wake up. Which turns out he is still alive in the deepest part of the cave. When he conscious, he remembered the face of Prince Shark. With full of anger he will never forgive Shark. He immediately got up and explored the place. But suddenly a strange monster was in front of him. Finally, he immediately attacked using the fireball spell. The fireball attack was successfully launched and caused an explosion. He immediately confirmed it. It seems there is a secret quest called Infinite Passage Strategy, 1-in-1-000-0000. He also doesn't know the meaning of the secret quest. Another monster came from behind to attack. Leon also managed to attack monster again using fireball. Finally he found out the meaning of the secret quest. The number listed was the total number of monsters that had to be defeated, which was 1 million. He also had to finish this quickly, so he could get out quickly. Leon has defeated many monsters and the number is still not enough. He immediately knew that the monster was the person who had gone missing in this cave. He will not allow himself to lose in this cave, and will continue to fight. Since that day he has been continuously defeating many monsters non-stop all the time. 1 year has passed and still haven't found a way out. But he remains determined to get out, and get revenge on Shark. He has defeated 100,000 monsters and gained new magic. He also thought that this was the power to take revenge on Shark. In the end 10 years have passed after all the monsters he defeated. Until finally he mastered a new power, granted dark attribute magic. Then 1 million monsters he has defeated. The secret quest was successfully completed, but a voice came over. Bright light came from the large door. He didn't even know what the bright light actually was. Until finally he fell unconscious again. He immediately got up from there. When he looked in the water mirror, he was shocked that he was in a different body. He was shocked and tried to look around. He was already in an academy school in a different body. He didn't know where he was and looked confused. He also met school bullies. The bully called Leon by the name Curabane. But Leon doesn't know who they all are. He immediately experienced something bad. Leon also received bullying from the student. He really didn't understand his current situation. There he also cast a water attribute magic spell, Armor Flood. Waves of great power emerged from the fountain. They were thrown far back because of it. The bully's name was ManhwaCapped. He was confused by the attack caused by Curabane. Leon thought, this was not an option. ManhwaCapped immediately left that place. Suddenly there was a strange voice speaking. Leon was confused by the strange light that approached him. The purple light wanted to talk to him. They immediately looked for a suitable place to talk. The purple light finally shone brighter. It looks like a fairy came out of the purple light. The fairy seemed to want to meet Leon. He was confused by the fairy's actions, and began to ask about the current world. The fairy is named Luna, she is a messenger from the goddess. Leon also looked confused by the messenger from goddess. Luna also explained that she was a guide for the dead, because Leon had previously died in the cave hole. And now he is in the body of a boy in this world, it is the work of the goddess. Leon is now calm, and did not expect to experience this. This situation is indeed complicated, but he tries to be patient and accept what has happened. Leon also wanted to know the reason why goddess transferred her soul into this boy's body. Luna also began to provide answers in the form of actions. He was immediately shocked when he saw what was in front of him. A large gate, like a place for monsters to exit. Finally, Luna invited Leon to enter the door. He immediately went in because he was curious. When he entered, he was amazed by what he saw. From a distance, a large monster can be seen. It's the monster that were under the demon king Belfar. Gransaurus, a monster with a strong magic barrier. In Leon's original world, it took him 3 days to defeat the monster. Luna also told Leon about his new powers. He immediately knew about his new power, which was dark attribute magic. The monster began to roar, a sign that it was going to attack. But with his new powers, Leon begins to cast dark attribute magic. Then added deprivation of blessing magic towards the monster. As a result, the magic released by Leon managed to destroy the monster's magic barrier. He immediately prepared to cast magic again. Magic that causes a series of explosions of dark magic. He then began to carry out the final attack. The monster was hit hard by the dark magic deadly claw attack, a final attack that had high dark magic power. The monster fell easily by Leon, using dark magic. The monster immediately lost the fight. Luna, who watched the fight, was very happy. Leon was really surprised by his new power. Now he easily defeated these high-level monsters. What an amazing magic show from Leon. He didn't know that the power of this magic was so great. He finally understood the situation, that the Demon King Balfar was already in this world. That was true, because the gate he had passed through was part of the demon's power, and because of that gate, the world was now in danger. That's why gods told Luna to guide Leon to this world. He also thought about why the Demon King Balfar was still alive and went to this world. He also asked about the crest, why it was there. The crest was the same mark that Shark had, so he guessed he was in this world. He really harbored hatred and anger towards Shark. Suddenly Luna detected the presence of a person. She immediately left Leon in that place. Leon was confused by the person who approached him. A student wants to meet Leon, and it seems like she wants to talk about something.